week's episode of My First Sketch at myfirstsketch.com. I'm Josh Hyam. As always, feel free to subscribe to the show on iTunes or on SoundCloud, and you can get it automatically. If you use the Stitcher app, you can find the show there as well. Like the podcast on Facebook at facebook.com/myfirstsketch. Email me at josh@myfirstsketch.com, or you can follow me on Twitter at myfirstsketch. We are about 3 weeks away from My First Sketch Live during Philly Podfest, July 23rd at 4:30 p.m. at the Philly Improv Theater's second stage, the upstairs stage. My guest that day will be the incredible shrinking man Jacquie, and tickets are available at myfirstsketch.com/July23. But today's guest is Max Sittenfield. He's currently a member of the Worst Generation, PHIT's video house team, and he's one of the creators of Shark Tank, the final episode. Shark Tank, the final episode, will take place at Good Comedy on July 7th and 8th, 7 p.m. each night, Friday and Saturday, and tickets are available at goodgoodcomedy.com/Shark Tank. The sketch he brings with him today is called Dasani. It was written for Iron Sketch Battle Water, which took place in September of 2014, and I know that because Max and I were teammates. For the reading, Max plays the Water Dude, and yes, that's actually the character's name in the script, and I play the customer. So let's go to the sketch. Customer walks up to Wawa beverage cooler display and reaches to grab a Dasani water bottle.
Hey man, I wouldn't do that if I were you.
Not looking for any trouble here, sir. Just trying to buy some water.
Too late. Looks like trouble found you, friend. What if I told you that Dasani is just tap water?
Yeah, I've heard that before.
And you still drink it? Just another mindless drone.
Excuse me, but I am not a mindless drone. I check Robert Reich's Tumblr daily.
Okay, I respect that. But are you ready to dig a little deeper? See where the real corruption festers?
So they bottle tap water. I'm a Reich man. We're big picture people.
Sure. It's the Dasani and Aquafina's racket, but the water gets murkier the deeper you go.
Okay, so what about Poland Springs?
Their whole name is a lie. Springs? It's just common groundwater. In Poland, my man, it's from fucking Poland, Maine. That's the most boring state in this goddamn union.
I knew it was from Maine.
Well, what about the groundwater part?
All right, I guess. I know Fiji's water's not from Maine, though.
Yeah, you're right. It is from Fiji. The same Fiji that was basically held hostage by those water Visigoths when they tried to raise the cost of their water above the current price of 1/3 of a cent per liter.
All right, man, all right. So what can I drink that's cruelty-free?
Fruit 2.0.
Really? They don't do anything evil?
In bottled water, as in life, flavor means everything, which is why every bottle of Fruit 2.0 is overflowing with all natural, all delicious, all whatever you want them to be flavors that liven up both our classic and sparkling waters.
What are you talking about?
At Fruit 2.0, we invented the first water with flavor in it, and it's still the only thing we do.
For Christ's sakes, you work for them?
We are dedicated to making delicious, naturally flavored waters. Flavors with as much personality and character as the people who love them. Strawberry, watermelon, cucumber lemon, peach, and other delicious flavors you've loved your whole life. It's what we love to do.
Yeah, okay. Let me get that cucumber lemon one. Hey everybody, I'm stepping in here again because while we recorded this, something happened and the audio became, well, ruined. There was a pop about 4 minutes in, and then there was loud static over the rest of the interview when I came back home and started editing. I was able to get a ton of the static out, but there's still a bit there every once in a while, every few words. So I do apologize for the audio being way worse than normal, but believe me, it started out in even worse shape. So here's my chat with Max. Hey, Max.
Hey.
All right, so tell me where this idea came from.
Okay. It was a little while ago. I don't remember exactly when I wrote this. It was kind of a collaborative thing, I think, because it was part of the Iron Sketch.
But this was it definitely was your first draft. Like you came in with this idea.
Yeah, I had the idea.
Okay,
yeah.
so that's good enough to be yours.
I think it's the thing. Like I noticed So I'd heard at some point that thing that like it's just tap water.
Yeah.
And I think I noticed that I was someone who liked to point that out.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was too proud of that fact, and at first I got some validation. Like people be like, "Oh, cool, that's good to know." But then I kept doing it long past when everyone already knew that.
Yeah, we get it.
So I think I just noticed that it's an annoying thing that I do.
Yeah, my strategy with bottled water now is to get as big as possible. Like,
Yeah.
never buy like a small bottle in the store. Just just go straight for like the 1.5 liters. Like,
Yeah.
pretend to be more hydrated than everyone else.
That's good.
So that's not just a total racket anymore.
Yeah. Well, it's less wasteful per sip. I don't know.
I like to think so.
There's something there.
Okay, so we had met, and the sketch that we just read was for Iron Sketch.
Yeah.
Battle Water.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was 2014. I think.
Sounds right.
Because I've had a lot of the people that were on the other teams of that show, because a lot of I don't know if you remember, but a lot of the people that were in that actually have gone on, and Courtney Painter, Jack O'Keefe. I know there's more, and I'm just completely forgetting.
But even 2 is like a super high hit.
Yes, that is a pretty good ratio. Okay, so we were on the group. I forget what we called ourselves. I forget what our name was.
That's for the best, probably.
Rob Banowitz was our mentor.
Yeah, he was awesome.
Emily Moore,
Mm-hmm.
really funny person.
Yeah.
Joe Moore's wife. Dot's mom.
Most famous is Dot's mom, I think.
And who was the fourth? I keep blanking on her name.
Lizzie Burrows.
Okay, Lizzie. Yeah. Okay, so we did Iron Sketch Battle Water. We lost.
Yeah, I think we came in a proud second.
I think so, because I thought we had a pretty good set. I didn't get to see anyone else's, so I just had all right. So tell me, so you're the guy that tells everyone that bottled water isn't, really spring water or fancy.
I mean, there's more to me than that, but yeah, that's a big part of it.
So let's go all the way back to the beginning. What made you laugh growing up? What was your comedy fandom growing up?
What did I like growing up? I loved Adam Sandler, all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I loved Mel Brooks, Marx Brothers, Honey Piper. A lot of those stuff are things my dad was big into.
What would have been your favorite Mel Brooks movie?
At a certain point, it would have been Spaceballs.
Okay.
I've actually seen that kind of recently. Holds up through the sheer force of nostalgia.
Yeah.
But I also I loved History World Part 1. I remember doing.
I don't think I've ever seen that one fully. I know I've seen clips and just pieces. Yeah, because it's just little bits and sketches of. My first experience with Mel Brooks, and the only experience with Mel Brooks for a while, was Robin Hood Men in Tights.
Yeah.
And for whatever reason, that was on TV a lot, and so I didn't know Spaceballs until I was into my teen years. But I'm also not a Star Wars kid.
Yeah.
So a lot of the the Spaceballs jokes you might have missed the actual parody part of it.
I'm the same way. I loved it, but I'm not a Star Wars guy.
Mm-hmm.
And I have a current. This is actually not super. This is a more recent version of my Dasani thing.
Mm-hmm.
I was telling everyone that Airplane, which is
yeah.
I mean, the fun of it. Airplane 2, nothing makes me laugh harder. And this is my thing. I'm oh, I should know this thing that everyone already knows. It was originally a parody the same way Scary Movie was.
Yeah.
But it referenced stuff that I never saw.
Yeah.
So to me, it's just a surreal jokes.
Yeah,
But it's as lowbrow as not in the teen movie.
Yeah, because Airplane's 80, 81-ish. And throughout the 70s, there's all these disaster movies.
Yeah.
I think there's Airport 77. There's
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's totally true.
But you don't know old. The only stuff that you know as old is good stuff that lasts.
Yeah.
You know your childhood's bad stuff, but no bad stuff from before.
It's interesting to think about that, how the parody of something has outlived the original. I wonder how much that's true about other things. I mean, Spaceballs hasn't outlived Star Wars.
Yeah.
Men in Tights hasn't outlived.
But that's because they were parodying successful,
Right. Yeah.
like things that were
not just the
very
bad of movie.
Yeah, I'd say Star Wars was like very, very popular.
I would. Yeah.
I'm not an
imagine
expert, but I think it was very, very.
You mentioned Saturday Night Live and watch like who? I ask everybody, who was your favorite cast member, or is your favorite cast member?
Oh, I mean, I was right. Will Ferrell hit me. I think that was prime. I got like a little tail end on like Comedy Central repeats of earlier stuff of Hartman or Sandler, those kind of.
Yeah.
But I think Will Ferrell was like, I mean, probably everyone's favorite, but
Will Ferrell comes with a lot.
he came around. Yeah, another not expert opinion. He's pretty popular, but I think he crushed it. Used to, yeah.
Okay, so
They're both badass.
all right, watching what your dad watches, and then what's your introduction to doing comedy? Like, where do you start? Where do you do high school plays? Do you do?
No, I think I played it. I think in like third grade, I played a non-speaking role of like the emperor in a something. But no, that was because every single person was in the production.
Class production, everyone's there. So how do you find out about comedy, or do you start with Philadelphia? How do you find out about improv and comedy in Philadelphia?
I mean, I love comedy, so when, so I'd like know about actors and their background, how they got places. So I always knew about like Second City and Groundling. And then when UCB people started popping up everywhere, that kind of caught my attention. And then I had a buddy in New York, like 2 years after college, who I visited, and he took a bunch of us to a UCB show, and I saw an improv group called Death by Ruru. That was the first. I'd seen like short film improv before, both in college with the short film I saw, and then Who's on it anyway I saw. Yeah. And I liked all those things, but I never had like an urge to do it.
Right.
Then I saw Death by Ruru, and I was like, I don't know, made me laugh so hard, and I just like, get a class.
Do you remember anyone that was in that Death by Ruru? Like, is there anyone that has transcended?
Yeah, that group was like around for a long time, but some people I remember from the first show who like at the time I had no idea who they were. But then as I got, very improv nerdy and started like learning about who people were, I'm like, oh yeah, that's who that was. It was Neil Casey, who's like a writer for SNL, and he was in the.
I think he's working on the President Show now. He was the bad guy of the first half of the new Ghostbusters movie.
Yeah, I remember him. I remember John Gemberling, who I think is still today the funniest person I've ever seen do anything live. I think Mike Still, and there were more than that, but I don't. Those are the three who like I could piece together later. I remember their faces.
Yeah. John Gemberling, I feel like he hasn't hit his big role yet.
Yeah.
Because I know the name. I know the face. I couldn't tell you what he's done on TV or anything. I know he has done bit parts here and there, and he's just waiting for his big spot, I think.
Yeah.
And that Mike Still, I don't know that name at all. Okay, so what gets you to do it?
I think I probably always kind of wanted to. I remember in college I had friends who were both in the short form team at my school and also did sketch at college, like in the club. And I didn't have the guts to do it. But I had a part of me like secretly was like, maybe I'll just like have you say, "Hey Max, you're in." Like, I was like waiting for something, but I didn't have. I was too, insecure about it or self-esteem or whatever, to try out. But I did definitely like secretly wanted to. And then I saw that show and I was like, that looks like a lot of fun. They weren't like doing crazy acting. I was like, that's out of my reach. Maybe they were funnier than I am or was. But
it was more realistic. It was more...
Yeah, and then there was something to taking the class at PHIT, I'm like, no one's gonna know me in this class. Take
Yeah.
one class, if it's bad, I'm out.
Yeah.
Or if I tried out for the sketch team with my friends and I was terrible, I'd be like embarrassed.
Right.
And that
Sure.
was, like,
Absolutely.
that was a blocker for me.
The safety of strangers, like.
Right. Yeah. But I mean, even then, I was nervous. I was always nervous for class, but I really liked it.
All right. So, improv 101, because you start with improv.
Mm-hmm.
Who's the first instructor?
I had Greg Maughan.
Okay.
I saw that he was the founder of the theater, so I'm like, oh, I'll take a class with him.
Well, he's probably the best bet
Probably
at
the
this
best,
point. Yeah. And you've gone through everything, so let's go through the
Yeah.
whole 201.
I had Nick Gillette for 201, had Mike Marbach for 301, and Kristen Shear for 401.
And then did you do the conservatory?
No, that wasn't.
Or
that
that's a
came a little bit
relatively
later.
recent.
That came a little bit later.
Development.
I still could, but I just.
You're established. It's fine.
I mean, I still would. It's just, if I wasn't doing other things, I would check it out. Look at teachers and stuff.
And you mentioned before you did do a sketch 101.
Yeah, I eventually, after doing improv for a while, buddied both Sketch 101 and Sketch 201.
Okay.
And I forget where Iron Sketch fell in that. If it was before 101 or between the two. I don't remember.
Okay. Who was the 101?
101 was Brian Kelly with a Joe Moore shadow.
Okay.
So,
So it was right before Joe started.
double right there. And then Paul Trigg.
And I generally ask this of everyone that's gone through the program in Philadelphia, and this is a mostly Philly-based thing. Was there anyone in any of those classes that are still like collaborators or people that are involved?
Yeah, I forget which one they were in, but in one of my classes was Joe Tuesday, who does improv and I think some sketch stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, he does some sketch. I think he was like a one-person sketch show or something. Yeah, I don't see any shows. I'm very careful. Joe Tuesday was in one class. Evan Don was in one of my sketch classes, who's now on Worst Generation with me.
Okay.
He makes us look like a lot. He's like a lot of cool video stuff. Makes us look way cooler than we are. All the promo stuff that looks good. All the rest, I don't know who that is. I think Jack O'Keefe was in a class. Jeff Hartman. I don't know if anyone else who's still doing stuff within those classes. That might be it.
Okay. And then so you do the improv. You do the curriculum. What's your first like improv team?
I formed a indie team with some friends after maybe 301,
Okay.
or 201. It started with Martha Cooney and someone named Megan Shaw, who's doesn't do comedy stuff anymore. And then we kind of added people we had met in our other classes. We were all in 201 together.
Okay.
And we kind of, I think after 201, kind of added people we had found and maybe friends of, those people, maybe they knew someone good.
Sure.
And then we did something called Kid Twist.
Okay. I remember that being a thing.
Yeah, we were around for a little while.
And then you eventually get a house. You get what came first? So have you been on multiple house teams or?
Yeah, I was on Davinger.
Okay.
It was the first thing I was ever cast on.
Were you original to Davinger? Like.
Yeah, we never added anybody.
Okay.
So that team kind of, I was like, I think that team was around like 2 years. The same.
Okay. Who's on Davinger? Or like who's the director? Who like?
Yeah. Maggie Keegan was the director. People in it were Hillary Kissinger, who moved to New York, Dan Corkery, Alex Newman, Kevin Pettit, Nick Mira, who moved to Seattle, Kate Sumner, Brian Rumble, Jessner.
Okay, so that's my memory of Davinger is that's like 2013ish. Like, is that? I mean, that's going back a little bit further than I really remember. Like,
yeah, that must have been like,
or even like 2012 maybe.
I think we got cast in 2012. Yeah.
Because wasn't that? Now we're like kind of played awful memory game. Wasn't it Davinger and Hot Dish?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I knew Hot Dish because Chris Coletta
Yeah.
was in a sketch group with me for a while.
And he's on Kid Twist.
Okay. Because all right, so that's a nice little bit of timeline. So, okay, so you've been doing improv for decent chunk of time now.
Yeah.
Okay, so Davenger has about a 2-year run. What's next?
Then after Scavenger, I was doing a bunch of things at Figment.
Right.
So I was on Triple Double for like 2 years. I also had a run. I mean, Maggie did a duo show called Max and Maggie.
Right.
For the length of Figment, pretty much.
And then occasionally still pops up every once in a while. You guys will play together. And
Yeah, we did stuff at like Dual with Comedy Sports, and we had a little run, a month, I think called a residency at Good,
yeah.
like a couple months ago. So yeah, we'll pop up here and there, but we played like every week for however long that was, a year. Yeah, and then I did, so I was doing Triple Double and Max and Maggie, and then maybe a year and a half ago I joined Big Baby.
Okay.
Who had already just 2 years before I joined.
Okay. And then in this incarnation, because we're recording this right before you go, you're going to a Big Baby show.
Yeah.
In about a half hour or so. Who's on Big Baby now? Because they do a weekly, right?
Yeah. Big Baby
Weekly
every
Tuesday night, Big Baby in the future.
Mm-hmm.
So who's Big Baby now?
Yeah. Our like regular people these days are myself, Andrea Sussman, Frank Farrell, Katrina, Hunter, Cephas, and then with occasional pop-ins from people who are either out of town or very busy, including Meredith Weir, who'll be there tonight, and Bob Moore, who sometimes pops in.
I know some of those names.
Cool. Me too.
All right. So, what else is your like experience of doing sketch? You did Iron Sketch with me. We lost. We didn't continue.
We're not bitter about it at all.
I'm not. I mean, I'm a little bitter, but it's mostly the bitterness comes because I didn't see the other sets.
That relieves me of bitterness. On the opposite, I'm like, it must have been great.
I totally, I see that idea. I do.
Relieves me of all.
That's not how my mind works, though. But
ignorance is bliss for me. They must. No.
Oh, they must have killed it.
Everything is fair.
Yeah.
The world is just.
Okay. And that's fine, I suppose. But you're now a member of Horse Generation.
Yeah.
Or so tell me about that experience of what did you submit for Horse Generation?
I submitted just 4 copies of this Dasani water sketch.
Your 10 pages was just the one sketch over and over again.
No, I did submit. I think I submitted one sketch that I had done in classes. Because I hadn't written a ton of sketch, even like I only wrote a couple things outside of that class. Like maybe I wrote 4 or 5 sketches that weren't for the class.
Right.
But I forget what the packet was exactly, but it was however many just pitches and then the full sketches.
And then Horse Generation rolls out maybe like 7 or 8 videos. And then I hear that you all were trying to figure out how to do a series.
Yeah.
So first off, of the 8 that were out, that have come out, are any of them like your first draft? Any of like your pitch, or are you going to claim it's more collaborative than that?
No, I mean it's definitely you do like feedback and it's collaborative, but we come in with pitches. The 2 that were mine that we've released are there's one called Alien Abduction that I wrote, and the Narrators of Narration.
Okay. Alien Abduction, that's the one. Is that the 2 friends laying down in the grass?
Yeah.
Okay. Who's in that?
Me and Rob Luciano.
Okay. I'm completely blanking on everything I've ever seen.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. And the Narrators of Narration was the looking through the fern in the living room?
Yeah.
Okay. So working on this series, I haven't talked to any of the Worst Generation since it debuted, really. I talked to John and Pat on the podcast way, way, way long ago. How is the Worst Generation working now? After you, from what I understand, you attempted this ambitious project and it didn't go for whatever reason, whether it was like budgetary or
Yeah, we spent a while. We were very excited about it. We still have like, I think they're final drafts, like pretty deep drafts of of a couple, maybe 6 or 7 episodes of this kind of web series. And it just didn't go because of production considerations. Like, I know I don't speak for anyone besides myself, but I didn't have any producing background, so I would like write without any thought to anyone but my own imagination.
And that's something that you definitely learned.
Oh,
with
sure.
video
Yeah. Well, it's
pretty
cool.
quickly.
It's selfish. It's a number of things that I'll take full accountability for. But yeah, so I think because of that, we just like kind of wrote ourselves out of scope. I don't know if it's right, but so it didn't go for that. So then we've recently been just going back to just one-off sketches. And writing and filming. A couple of them I saw some rough cuts of that look great, really exciting. So we're going to get back to doing that, releasing regular sketches as well.
Is it? So I think I saw a photo. Like, is there any new additions to the Worst Generation?
Yeah, since our initial round, Courtney.
I saw her in a picture. I was like, oh, I didn't know that. Like,
yeah, Courtney came on as a writer. Taylor Plunkett Clemens came on as producer.
Yeah.
I think Angelina. I'm gonna say Christina, although I bet that's her middle name.
Right, that's her like Facebook name or whatever it is. Yeah.
Angelina Christina something Barcelona. She probably hates that.
Sorry, but I love it.
Good, good. She came on as another, I think, director, editor, or something like that.
And how's that like? Has that been fulfilling for you to stretch that muscle compared to improving?
Yeah. Yes, it's very cool. I love improv, but I think many people who do it hit a certain point where you're just like, okay, this is fun, but it's a little frustrating the disappearing nature of it. So I think it's pretty common to want to find some outlet to create comedy that exists beyond the stage.
Right, because that disappearing outlet, I mean, that disappearing nature of improv is why I've never gotten into it. Like, saying something funny and like it bothers me to no end that like, and this is just my pet peeve, that the house teams don't do a sketch run. I mean, you have all this material, you generate all this material over the time. I think back in the day, Asteroid had done sketches based on things, and I was just like, doing this, like you're generating stuff, like work on it, do more, please. Like,
no, I hear you, and I think also Outside Voices maybe did a sketch show.
I think you're right there.
But I also think not everyone like improv is really fun. Like practicing improv is fun. Doing shows improv is fun, especially once you're kind of like more confident at your own abilities. So I think every stage of improv is fun at this point. Not every step of writing is fun. Right. Like that first draft can be really fun.
Right.
Editing can be less fun.
Yes. So the idea of the change between fun to worth, like, definitely comes in play when you start writing.
So I'm guessing that's a blocker for
I'm sure.
If you're not if the reason you're doing this is it's like purely a hobby and for fun, I could, like, if someone's like, I don't really want to write 'cause it's, I don't know, feels like more work and is, I totally
yeah, I suppose.
I'm sure no one would mind if you came and transcribed shows and like pitch. I feel like that'd be a few you'll get that.
I don't know. I feel like that's a little bit like intellectual property.
Sure. Yeah.
Issues.
You're probably right.
I don't know. I'd feel skeevy doing that.
I meant like with their permission.
Sure.
But either way, it's
sure.
not like a nightmare. Permission or not.
Okay, so I invited you on because of the Shark Tank show that I'm super intrigued about, because I don't know what you guys are doing, but there's enough people in it that I trust and I find funny that I'm excited for it. So tell me about Shark Tank finale, or whatever the actual title of it is.
I wrote with Sean Egan like this. Something called Shark Tank, the final episode, that we're putting up July 7th and 8th. Video comedy. Further dates TBA. and it's essentially a live episode of this reality show Shark Tank that I really like.
Okay.
And Sean has never seen, but I really like that. And we're really trying to treat it like a real show. Like we have the previously on, we filmed commercials for it that are essentially product parodies. So we filmed I think 8 commercials. So we kind of made a sketch show that we put within a fictional reality show.
Great. That's
So yeah, we wanted to seem like a whole thing. We even have we're gonna have a warm up comic. Like I don't think reality shows have this, but if you go to like a live sitcom taping, we'll have a warm up comic come out. Kind of
I would imagine
do crowd work.
Shark Tank would have something.
The only reason I say Shark Tank doesn't
because of how it's set up. Wait, is there an audience?
I don't think so. That's why I'm saying we're stretching on this. I don't think there's an audience, but we like the idea. Thought this was a fun idea. So having Ari Fishbein do that and kind of gave him free reign. And it sounds like he's planning. It was very funny, so I'm excited to do it. Yeah.
But it's almost a straight parody of Shark Tank, or at least you're using that framework.
Yeah, I mean, essentially, we're like using that structure to create a sketch show within it, kind of, because I mean, each product pitch is kind of a sketch.
Yeah, absolutely.
Game or whatever. We just have the sharks of the thing that stay throughout it. So
I was about to say, do you have your sharks? Is that like a thing that's going to rotate, or?
Yeah, no. The cast is pretty stable because there's a lot. It's an hour show, so it's a lot to learn.
Yeah.
So
all right. So who are the sharks? If you don't mind.
No, it's on the poster. I don't mind at all. Like I said,
I've seen the cast, but I've never seen like the.
Yeah, no, I don't mind at all. Yes, we have Molly Scullion playing Lori Grenier. These are all real sharks. She's the queen of QVC. She held over 1,000 patents, according to the opening credits of Shark Tank, which I know and Sean does not.
Did you at least make Sean watch a couple episodes, or is he just going blind?
He's seen moments for tone.
Okay.
And he's seen the opening credits and stuff for editing, some editing stuff to make it sound good. And he knows the music by heart because I do it all the time. 'Cause it's very catchy.
So, but he's still never watched a full episode, or
not even significant chunks. Even. I think he crafted a press release to send to event listing stuff, and in that he says, "I've never seen an episode of Shark Tank. It's a point of pride," which I think it definitely is.
All right, so Molly
is Lori Grenier.
Okay.
Although I don't think their last names are ever said, so it might not matter. So, fine. Molly's Lori Grenier. David Janella is Damon John. Rob O'Neill is Mark Cuban, who's the one person I actually have heard of.
Yeah.
And Frank Farrell is Robert Bergevin.
Okay. I don't know which one that is, but I know there's 3 other dudes. I know who Lori is. I know who Mark Cuban is.
Yeah.
Damon, obviously. But there's 4 other guys that just rotate to me.
Yeah, there's 6 of them. We tried to include more originally. We wrote it. We're like, oh my god, forget it.
Yeah, because I think there's only 4 at a time.
Or 5 sometimes.
4, yeah.
I hate to be a real fan who nitpicks, but it could be 5 sometimes.
But you can always throw that out there.
Ashton Kutcher sit in as a 5th.
Yeah, because wasn't another athlete or something? Just
maybe. Yeah, they do some stunt casting to get people in.
Although Mark loud and obnoxious enough to be the athlete anyway.
Well, Cuban's my favorite. The best.
And then so you've written all these other characters to pitch the ideas. Yeah. And that's sounds fun. You've got a pretty good rest of the cast of it. I saw Jim Graham was involved. Joe Moore just did this awfully weird turtle shell commercial.
Yeah, I think we counted up, and in terms of everyone who helped us work on this, between the live cast from film stuff, people who have directed or produced any segments, people who have helped us with our website or graphics and animation, we have almost 50 people have helped us with this show.
Wait, 15?
50. Some of them done very smaller things
that's too many.
It's insane. It doesn't make any sense.
That's a lot.
None of this makes sense.
Wow. So what else are you doing other than Shark Tank sounds like a... And because in Shark Tank, there's also the possibility of recurring. You don't have to do that same show. Is Friday going to be different than Saturday?
No, these shows are the same.
But then 2 months down the road, you can write a whole new
Yeah.
set.
Shark Tank is a oasis that never ends.
And throw in a new shark, or
Mhm.
or if you want to be British, a dragon.
What does that mean?
Because in Britain it's Dragon's Den
Oh,
is the name of the show.
that's a good name. Good name. for it.
I know that because I binge watched this whole British quiz show over the weekend. The Big Fat Quiz.
Okay.
It's fantastic, and everyone should watch it.
Big Fat Quiz.
Big Fat Quiz. They do yearly ones, and then they did a couple decade ones. Roger Iowati's
Usually
usually
do a couple decades.
like they did a Big Fat Quiz of the 80s, Big Fat Quiz of the 90s.
Oh, but not in the 80s.
right. No.
Okay.
But like Roger Iowati was one of
Yeah.
he's just fantastic and hilarious. Noel Fielding was on.
Okay.
He was Mighty Boosh. If you've watched the IT Crowd, he's Richmond.
I've heard of both of those shows. I don't think.
Just funny British people, and then occasionally like Kristen Shaw shows up,
Oh, great.
and Chelsea Peretti.
She's my favorite.
So it's weird and fun, and they're like 2 hours long, but they're just fantastic.
I saw Chelsea Peretti once at Helium.
Mm-hmm.
I went with a friend, got tickets, and I think every time I've ever gone there, I just got the kind of general admission seats.
Yeah, because you don't need to sit up front.
Yeah, I mean places like nice, like small in a good way, where you feel close either way. And she got tickets, and I have this huge crush and combined with a really visceral fear of Chelsea Peretti. She's too funny and biting for me to handle. And we were sitting front row, and all I was trying to do was like, how can I sit to draw the least attention so she won't make fun of me? I could barely pay attention. I was like, don't let her notice don't cross your arms, Matt, because she'll make fun of you. Very self-conscious because I want her to like me so much and couldn't stand for her to be mean to me. Painful.
All right, so you've been doing improv and a little bit of sketch here and there for quite a while now.
Mhm.
What keeps you doing it?
Oh,
I mean, you mentioned it was fun, but
yeah, it's the most fun. I mean, I have like a lot of friends who I've met from this, who are great people I like so much. But it's just, I mean, improv's still really fun to me. I've been doing it for whatever 6 years or something, 5 years. It's still so much fun. And writing is a newer thing, so I still get the new person fun out of that. Like I'm not like
it hasn't completely switched to work, and
yeah. Well, I'm like I don't think I'm even good at it yet. Like I think I'm funny, but there's so much. I mean, especially for sketch, I feel like there's so much more how to master. And improv too, but improv at this point is a lot of it's just like having fun with people I really like.
Yeah. And then I mean, you mentioned that you're relatively new to the writing side of it. Do you have any like?
But I want to preface: Sean's not. So the show's gonna be really good because
Right.
Sean's been writing forever. So even though I'm new, Sean's very, very
Right.
good at it. The show will be very good, at least because of
And it's
that
yeah.
experience.
I have no doubts about the show. Like when I heard about it, I was like, oh, okay. And when I saw, all right, Max and Sean, okay, that's a good pair. And then I saw the cast, I was like, okay, that's gonna be like, yeah, I'm okay. You don't have to sell me on Shark Tank.
Yeah.
But what's something that you've learned from comedy that you could pass on to someone that's new to the scene, new to
Like about comedy?
or if you've learned something about life, if something existential,
Oh, yeah.
we can do that too.
I mean, I've never said this out loud before. And it's terrifying, but the thing I learned about improv and life that I was bad at doing in both situations is that, like, in an improv scene or show, like, it's all about just making choices. You can determine your reality.
Yeah.
And I think that's something about life that took me a while to kind of feel comfortable doing. Instead of letting life come to you, you can make choices that affect life. Sure. It's so embarrassing. Like, I learned that through improv, which is insane. Like, what a terrible way to learn. But
I mean,
no, I don't want anything saying that's not the worst.
it's not like you're like 40-something years old coming upon that realization.
No,
like,
I just wish I got it in like therapy or something.
Yeah.
Like a professional way of gotten that versus like I learned that lesson because one time I decided to be a dog and jump up and down really fast or something.
meanwhile, you're paying a therapist and
I'm not getting anything out of it. Yeah. No.
becoming a dog on stage is the eureka light bulb moment.
Yeah, I mean, that was something for sure.
That's reasonable and deep, and
Yeah.
I don't think we can top that.
Maybe not.
All right, thanks, Max.
Thanks. Thank you.
Check out Shark Tank, the final episode, at Good Good Comedy, July 7th and 8th. Both of those shows start at 7 p.m. It's a Friday and a Saturday, and tickets are available at goodgoodcomedy.com/Shark Tank. You can also see Max on Tuesdays at PHIT when Big Baby and the Future play at 9 p.m. More information about that at phitcomedy.com. Don't forget, my first sketch live during Philly Podfest is coming July 23rd at 4:30 p.m. at Philly Improv Theater's second stage. My guests that night will be the incredible shrinking Matt and Jacquie. Tickets are $5 and are available at myfirstsketch.com/July23. My First Sketch is a Philly Sketchfest production. You can find out more information at phillysketchfest.com or on Twitter at PHL Sketchfest. Also, for more information about comedy in Philly in general, head to watercooler.com. The music on this episode is by the band No, which you can check out at nonoband.bandcamp.com. Like My First Sketch on Facebook. This is Josh Hyam. Thanks for listening. Go see some comedy.